All right, how's it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to the Beared Down podcast, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. Before we jump into today's episode, which is going to be covering Alex Smith, after some news from Ian Rappaport broke that Washington is planning to release him within the next coming days. We're going to break to our ad, to our sponsor. Support for Beared Down is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. We have an exclusive offer for my listeners, 20% off and free shipping with the code BD20 at manscaped.com. Now let's break into the ad. How's it going, everybody? Manscaped hooked me up with a bunch of tools and formulations from their Perfect Package 3.0 kit. I know we all have stories of trying to shave down there and perhaps nicking ourselves and bleeding. And it's not very fun, but not to worry with Manscaped. Manscaped has created the best ball hair trimmer ever, the Lawnmower 3.0. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin safe technology. I now feel confident shaving my boys. In addition, this trimmer comes with an LED light for a more precise shave and is waterproof to make your shower shave clean and easy. And don't use the same trimmer you use on your face as your balls. That's just nasty. The Lawnmower 3.0 comes inside their brand new Perfect Package 3.0, which comes with everything you need to keep trimmed, cut free, and smelling nice down there. The Manscaped Perfect Package 3.0 also includes the Crop Preserver, an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. You already put deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? And yes, your balls stink. Speaking of which, I am also thankful for their Crop Reviver. This product, along with the Crop Preserver, keeps your balls from sweating, smelling, and sticking. Manscaped also threw in 2 free gifts into their Perfect Package, one being a pair of high-performance Manscaped boxer briefs that'll keep your junk feeling fresh all day, and a travel shed bag to store all of your grooming goodies. Trim that junk of yours. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BD20 at manscaped.com. You'll see that on the screen right now. Your balls will thank you. Once again, that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code BD20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Now let's get back into the video. All right, we're back. So today we're going to talk about Alex Smith. It was reported earlier today by Ian Rappaport that the Washington football team is planning on releasing Alex Smith within the coming days, and said that the Bears are one of the options that makes sense for the QB to go and play. So my name is Zach and Jaylen. I'm the host of today's podcast. I'm joined with my co-host Jaylen McClellan. Jaylen, how you doing, man?
Doing great. Talking some Bears football. It's definitely been a rough couple weeks because it hasn't really been any news. But free agency is next week or the week after. So definitely, we're gonna have a lot of videos in the making. So that's definitely fun.
And on top of that, today, I'm sure you've seen the news, J.J. Watt signed with the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, we're looking at a couple of teams, potentially the Steelers, potentially the Packers, even though I never thought that was a realistic option. Thank the Lord he did not go there, as we would have to see him 2 times a year. But the Arizona Cardinals have signed him, so he's off the market. That would have been very interesting. Obviously, now he's back with DeAndre Hopkins. So the Arizona Texans are the new thing, with all the Texans on that team. But yeah, so let's talk about Alex Smith today. Alex Smith in 2020 had played 8 games, started in 6, had 66.7 completion percentage, 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and a 78.5 rating. He threw for 1,582 yards. Obviously, this is not the most appealing option for the Bears. You would have to assume if the Bears made a move like this, they would likely draft a quarterback in this year's draft, or move up to get somebody. You would hope a Nick Foles, Alex Smith QB room would not look that good for Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy, who have their jobs on the line. So obviously this is very interesting to see what's going to happen. Russell Wilson, we're not sure is really an option at this point because we're likely a year too early. We'll see him maybe get traded next year if things don't go well. Unless something happens, and hopefully if it does, then he'll be coming to Chicago. You would hope, but Deshaun Watson seems very unlikely. We're not sure if he's gonna get traded, but said that he does not want to play another snap. So there's a lot of things to keep track of right now, but some news from Washington that we have to cover. Obviously Alex Smith went down with that horrific injury and is now the comeback player of the year. Had a pretty decent season, especially with the injury that he had. Some were very certain that he was never going to be able to play football again. Came back, was definitely loved and supported by all of the fans. So Jaylen, why don't you talk about this move? If the Bears were to sign Alex Smith, and what you would assume the Bears would do in this year's draft?
We would definitely have to draft a quarterback. If we sign Alex Smith. Now, this is not the Alex Smith of 4 or 5 years ago when he was making the playoffs with the Chiefs, where he was basically being a game manager. Like I know it was like one season that the Chiefs didn't have a passing touchdown to a wide receiver. So that goes to show you how Andy Reid was running the offense with Alex Smith. He was just throwing dink and dunks and throwing it to your running back and stuff like that. So we would definitely have to look to sign or draft a quarterback. Alex Smith hasn't been the same. Since he had that horrific injury. Now, it was, thank for him to come back and play the game he loves. But I don't think we can rely on him to be our starting quarterback. So he wasn't like the only reason why he played this year is because I think Kyle Allen was their starting quarterback and he got hurt after they cut Dwayne Haskins. So he really wasn't supposed to play this year. He got forced to play, and he got sacked 5 times the first time he played. So it's all about safety for him. Obviously, he didn't want to come back player of the year, but that was just because of what he came back from and how long it took him to come back and he was still able to play again. So I don't think we actually do it, but if we do, gotta hope not. We're definitely gonna look to draft a quarterback and make him a mentor. Maybe we just sign him so he can be a mentor and not play him. So.
And this is, of course, assuming. Sorry to cut you off there, but
Mhm.
this is, of course, assuming that Alex Smith does want to play, and I'm sure he wants to play for another organization.
Yeah.
Still wants to prove that he has his talents. But two-time Pro Bowler in Kansas City, three-time Pro Bowler in Kansas City, once in 2013, and then twice back-to-back seasons in 2016 and 2017 before that injury. But notably, those years with Kansas City, obviously, he was there with Matt Nagy when he was there, and Andy Reid obviously was the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, and he excelled under that offense. It made it very easy for him. This past season had a pretty good completion percentage, excuse me, but obviously it wasn't attempting very long shots. It was more a lot of check down screens, but did have a long of about 68 yards, which is I believe more than Mitch had this year for passing. But you'd have to assume Bears make this move. They would be 100% drafting a quarterback or moving up to do so. And if not, then you got to say, Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy's jobs are probably done here. I don't think they would last very long. Obviously, the Bears have never been the organization to fire their GM or their head coach during the middle of the season. But you would assume if the Bears cannot pull off something here to potentially save their jobs, this defense has already been regressing for years. There's not much time left in that championship window for the Bears. Has certainly seemed to come to a close, especially with a move like this. I feel, a rookie is not going to come and save Ryan Pace's job, unless of course it's Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson. I would say, Justin Fields maybe, but they would definitely go and draft a QB. And I just don't see how this would work out for the Chicago Bears, but it would be very interesting. Obviously Ryan Pace lives in the dark, especially during the offseason. He does a lot of his moves that are not shown to the media. He like Nick Foles last offseason. I don't think a lot of people were predicting that would have happened. Obviously, there were other options in the market too, but Nick Foles was not one that we thought would be the answer for the Chicago Bears, and obviously wasn't the answer for the Chicago Bears. But you'd have to wonder what would happen with Nick Foles if the Bears were to sign Alex Smith, whether they trade Nick Foles somewhere, hopefully for another wide receiver or something like that. But they'd have to move Nick Foles, I would assume. So it could be a very interesting offseason, but got to keep a lot of things in check. But yeah, honestly, this move I just don't think would do anything for the Chicago Bears. I love Alex Smith. Hope he continues to play, gets his chance again on another team. But I just don't see it being for the Chicago Bears. And obviously, Ian Rappaport was just tweeting out just the moves for Washington, but him including that the Bears are a potential option, raises a couple of concerns for Bears fans. So that'll pretty much do it for us, guys. We just wanted to hop in here. We introduced our sponsorship to you, our ad through Manscaped. Again, if you want to check that out, you can get 20% off and on at Manscaped and free shipping with a promo code BD20 at manscaped.com. We really appreciate all of your guys' support. You're the only reason that we're able to do something like this. And Jaylen, do you have any last words?
Appreciate Manscaped for sponsoring us. I never thought we didn't have a sponsor. Like, that's still crazy to me, to see. I don't know where my razor at, but they sent us a bunch of cool stuff. If I can, yeah, sent us a bunch of cool stuff. So yeah, thank you for them for sponsoring us because they didn't have to do that. And everybody stay safe. I wouldn't say we're starting to see normalcy, especially in Illinois. Everything's not still back to normal, but around the world stuff is opening back up and stuff like that. So make sure you guys are staying safe and bear down.
Yeah, you guys saw all of the products in the ad, but it is very crazy looking back. We never thought we'd really have a sponsor, especially at this point. We were expecting it to take a while, but very grateful for Manscaped and sending us all of that stuff. It was very, very generous, and so we want to thank them again for that. But most importantly, want to thank you guys so much. We're going to continue grinding out for you guys. Our schedules are very difficult. We're college students, and some of us are in-person classes. And myself, I'm only online, so our schedules do not line up very well. Obviously, Chris is not here right now. Parth is not here right now. Chris is unavailable. He's at tennis practice, I believe. So hopefully we can get everybody back in here
And
as
I
soon
didn't
as
have school
possible.
today. That's the only reason I'm here. I didn't have school.
Yeah. So I've got class about an hour and a half, but yeah, we're gonna try and get everybody back on here as soon as possible. Hopefully, we can continue doing the podcast with four of us. I think it's very interesting and get to see a lot of you get to see our perspectives on everything, and maybe you agree with us on a lot of things. But anyways, that went off on a tangent. Thank you guys very much for supporting us. We're gonna continue grinding out stuff for you guys, and stay safe and bear down, everybody. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.